Hello and welcome to the Manchester United preview, taking on Club Brugge tomorrow night in the Champions League. And I've got Joey here to discuss the upcoming game. Now, it's great to be back in the Champions League. Really a long season last year with no Champions League football. And how are you looking forward to this clash to qualify for the group stage, Joey?
I guess I'm not really looking forward to it because it's kind of, nerve-wracking. It's, Club Brugge are champions of Belgium, I believe. They're a decent side. Probably one of the weaker teams we could have gotten. When you look at it, we could have gotten Lazio and Monaco and I think Leverkusen at one point. But, I'm happy with the draw. It's not too far of a trip. I'm really happy that we played on Friday and then we had the couple days preparation, and rest before it. So, I'm just excited to see us play anytime, no matter what, if it's a friendly, if it's a cup final, any game to watch Manchester United play brings me this. So, yeah, but, it's going to be interesting to see how he lines up. We'll talk about that, starting 11s, things like that, tactics, I think, So we just have to wait and see. I'm excited. I'll be happy and relieved when it's over and we're in that pot and we're watching the draw for the group stage. Then I'll be really happy.
Yeah, definitely. And as you touched there, there could have been a lot of more difficult sides we could have got. So I think a lot more people seem to be a lot more excited now since we've got on paper an easier tie. We could have got Monaco there, or there's some difficult sides in there, as you said. Lazio are in there, so we've really done well. I think to get it's a short trip as well for the second leg, but hopefully we can do it in the first leg. I don't know what you make of it's the first leg's at Old Trafford, so I don't know how you see the first leg going. Do you see Manchester United coming out all firing, or I don't know how you see it going, because Club Brugge are probably going to sit back for long periods of the game and make it really difficult, aren't they, for Manchester United to break them down?
Well, I think when you play in Europe, and especially in the Champions League, you're gifted with a little bit more time on the ball. And I think, you saw how David Moyes did. David Moyes did okay. He made it to the quarterfinals. Granted, he didn't have the toughest group, and he didn't have the toughest draw in the round of 16. So I think, I think a lot of others think that we're going to be better in Europe than we are in England because Louis van Gaal's tactics are more suited to Europe. His possession game is more suited to Europe than the Premier League. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think we're going to come out and, go for it and try and win it in the first 10, 15 minutes. I don't think that's, Louis van Gaal style, and I don't think that'll be the best thing that we should do. I think we're going to come out, we're going to try and control the game like normal. We're going to pass it out from the back. We're going to press high when we don't have the ball. And we're going to make them, try and bring them out of their half. Because if they are going to camp out, I think you're going to see similar tactics to the Villa game. We're going to pass the ball around the back four, into the two holding midfielders, try and suck them out. And like I was just saying, when we don't have the ball, we're going to try and press and try and wear their team down where they're chasing the ball and, make them make mistakes. It's going to be crucial to get a goal. Or, well, more than one. I would have probably rather preferred to have the away leg first, so that way you kind of get that out of the way. It depends on how you look at it. You can look at it like this: is if we can stop them from getting any goals and they don't have any away goals, and we go into the second leg, with a clean sheet in the first one, obviously that'd be good. But if we can sit here, me preferring, I'd rather go on the road, try and get a couple away goals. That way you know what you need in the second game, So it is what it is. I guess that's people's preference, but I can't wait for it, I guess. I'm going to be nervous as hell, probably biting my nails, but, I'm just glad to hear that music again. To be honest, I wasn't that interested in the Champions League last year. I really wasn't. I barely watched the group games. I watched, the top group games. There wasn't too many. I think Juventus and Real Madrid. But, yeah, and even the knockout stages, I watched them, but I wasn't, I don't have the same eye on them. It's a little different, and I guess you kind of appreciate it more when your club isn't in it. So that year out, I guess, could be a good thing because you kind of, now you appreciate it even more because it is. There's you look at the league this year, and you would think that the top four isn't going to change, but then Liverpool, they're buying players, and Spurs will be there or thereabouts. It really is a tough thing to get into the top four, and we kind of take that for granted.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we haven't done particularly well. Well, all the English clubs haven't done particularly well in the Champions League over the last few seasons. So it'd be nice if we could at least get to probably the quarterfinals. But I mean, I don't know too much about Club Brugge. I don't think I've watched them play before. But from what I've heard, that they're not a particularly great side. I mean, I think the league has improved over the last few years. And a lot of these teams do seem to hold out a lot longer than they used to. I mean, a good few years ago, you used to get a lot of really one-sided games in this, but it doesn't seem to be the case unless, obviously, some of the real top sides, the likes of Barcelona, sometimes generally do win very easy against some of the smaller sides. But, I mean, we're not creating too many chances, especially not getting enough shots on goal. So it could be quite hard for us to break them down. But as you said there, you'd prefer obviously the away leg first. I would have loved the away leg first, because if we could have got a result away from home, or even a win, then we could have relaxed a little bit more in the second leg. But as you said, I'm hoping we can get a draw. I mean a clean sheet, not a draw, and a couple of goals, so that we can take sort of a 1 or 2 goal lead to Bruges. Do you know anything about them? I think I've heard that they've got a really tall striker up front that they might try and knock the balls up to, but
I saw
they're pretty crap, aren't they? But
I mean, I think they won the league, so they got to be the best Belgium has to offer. I think I saw on Shitty News or another video that they have the Belgian Player of the Year in this Vasquez, so we'll have to keep an eye out on him. You look at how Belgians have done throughout Europe over the last few years, and they're doing pretty well. Benteke, Lukaku. You got Eden Hazard, De Bruyne. We have our own 2 Belgians, and one's kind of Januzaj and Fellaini. So we'll have to sit there and wait and see how it goes. But like I said, I don't expect us to go out gung ho and try and nick a 1, 2, 3 goals in the first 20 minutes. I think it's going to be calm, patient. Louis van Gaal. He's going to want to control the game. He's going to want to dictate the tempo and the pace. And he'll probably go out and do that. So, as far as them, they're good enough to win the Belgian league, and they're good enough to be in this draw, like us. So we'll have to wait and see it. But I'm not making any excuses, because Manchester United should have the quality to beat this team. But I don't want to go into it so confident and so cocky that if somehow we do fuck up the first leg, then I'll be sitting here eating my words. So I'm kind of trying to be humble about it, Because I know some people are sitting there thinking we're going to win, 5, 6, 7-0. I don't think it's going to be like that, because we have, like you said, struggled to get goals. Wayne Rooney, I think, will come good. I don't know. I think, for me, obviously Rooney's first touch, and he hasn't really gotten it done lately. But none of our strikers did last season. So, I think it's the service. I think Mata, I've been saying Herrera in the 10. Now I'm starting to, see what Juan Mata can do in the 10 role. I just think that, we need to start playing Juan Mata in his position, and we'll see good things. I think he could create a lot of chances there. But, we just have to wait and see. Louis van Gaal will have his idea of what he wants to do and the players he wants. There's talk about Pedro again. Today's supposed to be his last game again. And apparently Ed Woodward flew there and then flew right back. I don't believe that, so I hope nobody else does. Woodward's not going to get on a plane, go there and say, all right, here's $22 million or whatever it is, and they're going to go, well, we want more. Oh, okay, never mind. See ya. Bye. Thanks, not going to happen. So I've seen the Twitter rumors are starting. It looks like Otamendi is going to City. Obviously disappointed, because I think we need a center back, but we'll have to see. I've been saying, if this Phil Jones has got these blood clots, right, and these are pretty serious from what I've heard. Like I was saying, there's a basketball player here that got these blood clots, and he was out for the rest of the season, 4, 5, 6 months. He didn't want to risk it, because it is. Your health comes before football. And then they're saying Johnny Evans has been told he can go. We're not going to get rid of 2 center backs and not bring any in. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of comments there in the comment section about Pedro and maybe stalling on the deal. But I think that deal will be concluded soon. But until then, obviously, we've got to make do with the players that we've got. And do you think that we should keep the same lineup for this game? I mean, Januzaj obviously played in the last game against Aston Villa, and I know Van Gaal's a little bit critical because he lost the ball a few times. But although he did get a nice goal, a deflected one, would you be keen to see the same lineup for this game, or do you think we should switch it up a bit? I mean, a lot of people have been saying that Hernandez should be brought in for Wayne Rooney, which I'm really not a big fan of because he's got a touch worse than me. So I don't think we're going to create enough chances for him to be scoring, to be honest. But I don't know what your thoughts are on the team sheet.
Well, I think there will be some changes, not many. Look, Steve White, who's a good friend of mine, I love his stuff on Strutty News and other channels he does. We were talking last season, and he said football is such a fine line. From offsides or just the way the ball comes off your foot, it's such a fine line. Now, if you look at that game against Aston Villa, Januzaj was very fortunate to get that deflection. If he doesn't get that deflection, I don't see anything to be impressed about, to be honest, because he did lose the ball quite a bit. His link-up play wasn't that great. He just took the goal really well. So hopefully that could do something for his confidence. I wouldn't start him, I don't think. Yeah, he got the goal, but it's tough because you look at it and you're like, okay, if you don't start him, what does that say? How's that going to do for his confidence? But if you do start him, it's so tough. If he was going to start, I'd rather see him on the right wing and Mata centrally. But I think I'll give you my starting 11 now. I'll go. I would rather David De Gea starts, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Romero, Darmian, Smalling, Blind, Shaw, Schneiderlin, Schweinsteiger, and then my 3 would be Memphis on the left, Mata in the central, and I'll put Januzaj on the right with Rooney up top. There's no way in fucking hell I would ever bring Chicharito into the starting 11 this game or any game unless there's a I would rather see Januzaj play striker than Chicharito. I'll put it that way. It's nothing against him personally. I think he's a fantastic striker, fantastic player, but he does not fit this system. And if there's no way in hell, like you said, doesn't have a first touch, can't stay on side. He's not going to be, in your build-up play from the back. He's not going to drop a little bit, to the middle third of the field, pick up the ball, link up with the fucking wingers, and be able to pass the ball doing 1-2s back and forth. It's just not. I don't think that's his game. I think we should sell him and get somebody who's more suited for the system in. So we'll have to wait and see. There's talk about Berahino. Me personally, I'd rather have Charlie Austin, but Berahino, that type of striker. If we're not going to go out and get the superstar, at least get something. Berahino, Charlie Austin, Benteke would have been a good option. So yeah, that's what I would do with my starting 11. People are talking about resting players already. The only thing I will say about that is Carrick is getting up there in age. He's 33, 34 years old. He just played on Friday. Let's not risk him. We don't have to risk him. Schweinsteiger's come off the bench twice, played 30, 40 minutes, and looked great both times, real commanding. Him and Schneiderlin could be a really good midfield pairing, in my opinion. So you would have, that would be the only thing I would rest. Other than that, Chris Smalling's 24, I think. Blind's a young guy. These are all young professional athletes who should be in shape. I know it's the beginning of the season, but we shouldn't be talking about resting players, especially when we play on Saturday. It's not like we play, Friday, Thursday. That's still Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to recover and play Saturday. And it's not like we're playing Barcelona on Saturday. We're playing fucking Newcastle at home.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we should be looking to get 3 points against Newcastle, but someone in the comment section box on the chat said that he would like to see Fellaini come back in, but Fellaini obviously hasn't had any game time, but I think he would actually be a better option than Hernandez. Richard said Hernandez isn't Manchester United quality, which definitely I agree with there, but I think probably Fellaini would be a better option, actually, although I wouldn't.
No, he would. No, you're right. He would be. I wouldn't. I mean, he had a really good end of the season. Last quarter of the season. I definitely think he'd be a better option than Hernandez. and I mean, teams in the Champions League, once you get to those, good teams, it's going to be tough for them to defend Fellaini. I don't think Fellaini should be starting every game, but I think he's a great option to have off the bench. I see people, Chelsea fans talk about that they only know how to play one way. They don't have a plan B. Arsenal never have a plan B. We have a plan B, so maybe even a plan C, because we play our possession style, but we could also play counterattacking. We did that at the Emirates and nicked 2 goals, and same thing at Southampton. We can play counterattack. We can play possession. We could bring Fellaini off the bench, hit the long ball. We have many different ways we can line up, and that's why I think we'll be all right in the Champions League. I think we should be looking at the quarterfinals as a minimum. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it and the way we can line up. Fellaini, for me, he knows. He kind of gets what it is. He probably realizes that he's probably not good enough to play for Manchester United, but he has the honor and privilege to do so. So that's why you see him, every time he scores, tapping the badge, and he gets fired up. And he's a physical player. He bullies players, and you kind of need that. People talk about Darmian, fucking with Micah Richards when he was pointing at his face, and he's kind of a prick. You need that. You need a prick, and you need a guy who's a tough guy, and who's going to bully teams and maybe throw an elbow here and there. You have to have these type of characters in your dressing room to win the title and to go far in the Champions League.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think Fellaini would definitely be a better option than what we've got in Hernandez. But I mean, we haven't really got a lot up front, and I've got to agree with you. I don't think Fellaini should ever be starting for Manchester United. He's not really good enough at all. But obviously, he's an asset because he scored a few important goals in that for Manchester United, and he can cause quite a lot of havoc up front in that sort of fairly forward role. I wouldn't have him, as David Moyes likes to employ, more in midfield. I'd prefer him further forward if we're going to play him. But I would personally definitely stick with Wayne Rooney for now, because he's had no match practice at all, Fellaini, and he's probably going to need 5 or 6 games in the reserves and whatnot before Louis van Gaal even considers putting him on the bench. I don't know if you've got any other thoughts you want to say on Club Brugge or Manchester United in general. I mean, obviously, it looks like we've lost out on Otamendi. The Pedro deal, I think, will be concluded soon, but obviously not in time for this game. But I don't think there's a lot more transfer news, really, is there?
No, I think it's gone quiet on that front, so we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Otamendi's sitting there in a hotel, apparently, in Manchester. How hard is it for Ed Woodward to walk on over there and nip the deal? I mean, you get one over on your rivals. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Like we were just saying earlier in the video, Evans has been told he can leave, and Phil Jones has blood clots, which could be really serious. Or, even so, he's not the greatest center back in the world. He's still got a lot of room to improve and grow. I don't see them going into the season with what they have. With, like I said, Evans gone and a sick Jones. Just Smalling, Rojo, even Blind, and well, he says Blackett, but I think Blackett's going to play more in the reserves, and same thing with McNair. So I think it's confusing because he knows that he has to finish second or third, do well in a cup competition, and get far in the, like he has to. The first year all we wanted was top 4. We would have took a cup with it. Now he even said, my job's never safe. So I just can't see why the money is available. I believe we think the money's available. Why he wouldn't just go out and get an experienced center back, or just a better one. I know that under him, with our possession style and our really good midfielders now, our Schneiderlin, Schweinsteiger, and Carrick, they are going to shield the back 4, but it's still, I guess he feels comfortable enough with that midfield protecting that back 4, and with Chris Smalling's been excellent too. Take nothing away from him. We'll have to wait and see. There's rumors about Laporta, and I think that was just made up on Twitter, and now people are running with it, or something like that. I think there's always been an interest in Laporta, from what I know and from what I've heard. But he just recently signed a new contract. His buyout clause, I believe, is 36 million euros. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's only €1 million more than Otamendi. So he's younger than Otamendi. I think he's got a higher ceiling than him, and he's left-sided. So I think those 3 things, for me, make sense to purchase him over Otamendi, but the word is, with the buyout clauses and things like that, it's never as easy as it seems. You look at how much trouble we had with Herrera. Maybe we'll have to call those lawyers up again, those guys in suits, tell them to go to the La Liga offices, or if they need me to come in and broker a deal, I'll come in. I'm busy, but I guess I can do it for them. So no, other than that, I'm thinking it's going to be. I'm hoping it's going to be a 3-0 win, but I think it's going to be 2-0. We got to get some goals. We got to get this team scoring goals. We got to. We've started with. We've been fortunate the way we've started. I think we've been good. We've had a good shape. We've gotten we've defended as a team very well. We've pressed very well. But we need to start scoring goals because if we're gonna want to build a good September. I think our first big test is Liverpool in a couple of weeks. So until then, we got to start winning some games in the league. Keep going. Keep this momentum going. We got to keep this momentum and as long as we can, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we've got Swansea in a couple of weeks as well, away, which won't be too easy. But hopefully by then Pedro will be concluded, because I really do think that one will happen. A lot of people there talking about John Stones. I mean, personally, I would have preferred a Otamendi or Ramos type signing, because I think he's probably a bit too inexperienced, because we have got the likes of McNair and, as you said, Blackett, who probably will spend a lot of time in the reserves if he doesn't go out on loan. We've still got Jones and Smalling, who's not even that old. So personally, I would go for a more experienced one. But saying that, I think Jones did look quite good against Southampton, and I think he would be better. Stones would do better than Jones. So I don't know what your thoughts are there. Would you take him over what we've got if we can't get anyone else?
Stones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, because I think, like you said, he's an upgrade over Phil Jones. We'll have to just wait and see. Yeah, I would take him, though, definitely.
Yeah. I think that this game will probably be a comfortable game in the end. I mean, I'm looking at sort of similar scoreline to you, sort of around a 2-0 scoreline. I think it's going to take a while for us to break down Club Brugge. I mean, I think a lot of these teams do try and defend quite deep now, and try and put a lot of men behind the ball to keep the scores down. So it's definitely not going to be easy. But hopefully we can get the win in this game. Please do hit the like button on the video. It really helps us out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hopefully in the next couple of days we will have some more signings. Should be back after the game tomorrow for fan reaction to the game. So hopefully we will have won our first Champions League game, an exciting one under the floodlights at Old Trafford. So do join us for a review. Follow us both on Twitter. His is Joey Tabor, and mine's at Daniel H1558. And we will talk to you all again soon. See ya. Thanks for watching.